Can you hear me? One moment, good sir.
So that was a technical error. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Microramble, where I don't remember to unmute my mic. So, as I was saying, welcome to the rebirth episode of Microramble. I know we haven't broadcast since late last year. That has been due to life and technical issues that we have been having. So, today's episode 4 of Season 2, Land, Love and LARPing. This will be a general discussion episode, and we welcome questions in the chat, and for people, if they so wish, to join the stream, please ask in the Discord, which has been posted. And now we have Charles.
Take it away then. Hello, can you?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Fantastic. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's great to be back here after, well, what has it been? Multiple months of absence. We have not been here since September. Our last episode was in September, and so it's definitely definitely something new to be here talking to y'all tonight. If you're wondering, no, we're not dead yet. No one else has died, but we're definitely excited to get the show on the road. So I think it'll be really good for everyone tonight. With a good time. And by the way, Thomas, we do have audio.
Yes, good. This was a opening where Tom forgot to unmute his mic. So, Charles, do you want to get us going on the discussion for tonight? Seems we have 9 viewers at the moment, which is good for the rebirth.
Oh my god, 9 views. And by the way, everyone watching, I hate asking this, it's the most generic thing ever, but please share it to any group you're in, share it on the Discord, share it in the forum, share it to anybody you around. Go and join. And Andrew, if you're wondering, we're getting private chats. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so enough dilly dallying around. So the best way to describe today's for the show. Today we are going to be going over the basics of land, love, and LARPing. Basically saying that we're going to be going over quite a few topics in the community. We're going to be going over the land form and micronations and what exactly territory and geography means to a micronation success. Additionally, we are going to be we'll be joined by multiple guests tonight. And questions, of course. If anybody wants to ask questions, it'll come up in the chat here. We'll be happy to any questions you have. If you want to join, obviously our Discord will be able to join on there. Anyway, we're going to be also talking about love, micronational drama. We're going to be talking about the various dramas coming up in the community. If you guys have any ideas for us to talk about in that regard, go and ask us anytime, and we'll be sure to get on that topic. And finally, LARPing. We're going to be discussing how simulationism and realism and micronationalism has the perks and has things that are more of disadvantages. We're going to be going over both tonight, and we're going to have a great show for you all. So stay tuned, and let's start the action. Thomas?
All right. So, land. Some people think it makes or breaks a micronation. Some people have varying views on it, shall we say. So, first things first, the first question. Charles, do you think it makes or breaks a micronation?
I think it very much depends on the kind of micronation, personally. Definitely when it's more of a realistic nation, when it's more of meant to be an actual state, I think land definitely makes or breaks a country. It also makes or breaks how professional it'll be taken by its contemporaries. For example, if a micronation claims a park, for instance, or claims a large property of land, if they own a large property or they claim their house as the micronation, that will give them a lot more clout than if they were to claim their bedroom or if they were able to claim an entire city that they don't live in. So it very much does make or break the micronation in that regard. However, it also you have to look at if a micronation is, for example, something more of just a government, not really mattering the land itself. In those circumstances, it really doesn't matter much about where their claim is. For example, a good model of that would be the Kingdom of Tolosa, which was, while they have a ceremonial claim of an entire block in, I believe, California, the country itself was founded in a bedroom, thus really giving it the whole the physique of having a small land claim. However, it really doesn't matter much in the context of Tolosa because they're really not meant to be about the land. It's more about the community and the government.
Okay. Also, talking about the maybe a lack of land. There is a new, it has been before, but seems to have researched is the aspects of sovereign orders. So people are seeming to be modelling themselves off of the sovereign, the military order of Malta, which is a ancient order at this point that has no true land. It is a landless sovereign entity under international law. What are your thoughts on that style of nation that's coming around?
Well, first, I haven't really seen too many examples of them actually coming around as micronations. Pretty much every sovereign order I've seen was really just an order created by a micronation as an order. There is no government structure. There's no sovereignty to it. At the end of the day, really, it's just an excuse to make an order, and they slap the word sovereign onto it, not fully understanding what it means, and really just as a way to prestige to it. I honestly have not seen any truly sovereign order micronation. I would definitely love to see one. I think, quite honestly, that's a very fascinating way of doing something. But quite frankly, I have not seen a micronation operate as a sovereign order before. Successful.
Fair enough. I know one or two examples, but one of them is quite new that I've seen primarily around the Reddit community, actually, which is the Military Order of Barcelona. Now, it's yet to be seen whether they're successful, but do you think that type of structure could work, especially for those who maybe struggle getting hold of viable land to form their nation on?
Oh, I definitely think it would. In fact, I would have to say that out of all the different types of micronations that exist, at least when it comes to realism, sovereign orders would have to be my favorite. And I think actually one of the most viable forms of micronations from any real context, really because a micronation claiming land by nature takes takes away from the takes away from the country itself, and it also causes conflict with their host nation because obviously it stifles any chance of them really getting recognized because of the fact that they're trying to claim land that another nation holds. However, when they form a sovereign order, they're really not taking any land with them, and there's no loss to the host nation if they ever wish to go the route of a legitimate state. When it comes to sovereign orders in the context of micronations, purely micronational, I also think that they are very good because most micronations, whether we like it or not, tend to be seen as a government first, land second sort of thing. And a micronation that's essentially all government or all with ceremonial and pizzazz really gives a micronation the chance to not focus as much on the land and preserving it and creating an economy, a more chance to really think of what the order wants to do, such as do acts of charity or acts of goodwill, which could really not only work micronationally, but in the real world sense of changing the world. And it also gives some a hair of legitimacy to their titles, as they're not just some made up aristocracy for a micronation's operation, but more of the actual structure of the micronation itself. So I very much believe that if done right, sovereign orders as micronations are actually probably one of the best ways of running a micronation, at least from a modern perspective.
Okay.
Thomas, you're muted.
I'm not anymore. But yeah,
so
it's yet to be seen whether the current one or two that I'm watching are to be successful. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, we have some questions in the chat. Let's have a look. Anyone got any questions before we continue? Because as it says in the title,
we're at the point where we're gonna. Let's see here. Well, we have Jinkum Sniffer 46 asks, I heard something about guests or something. Can I be on, please? Well, I don't see why not. If you want to hop on our Discord, we'll send you a link. And there will be plenty of guests. Yes, we're actually getting ready to bring on our first couple guests right now. So we got quite a few waiting in the wings here. So Thomas, want to introduce people we'll bring on to help talk about micronational land, because as everyone knows, the most exciting thing to talk about on a Monday evening is land and micronations. We're the coolest people in the world. So yes, we do. So
okay, so our first guest who's been asking to come on, this will be Duke Andrew. Welcome, Andrew. Hello. Seems Andrew is having some technical issues, so let's introduce our next guest. Welcome,
and again,
Jonas.
if anybody wants in, anyone watching, please go ahead and join. We'd love to have you on. And again, please share this stream to as many people as you can. We're trying to get our viewers up. We're trying to get the name out. The Microramble is back, so we're trying to get that out there. So
anyway, welcome to the stream, Jonas. So, do you have commentary on what we were discussing?
Micronational land.
You're muted, Jonas. Hello.
And yes, if anybody's wondering, I didn't bring my traditional jacket today. I have my black jacket. My gray one's getting washed, so I'll try to be back in uniform next episode. And the next episode, we'll try to get some high-profile guests for some interviews so we can get back to some more interesting things, interviewing micronationalists, and talking about things that you guys actually care about. So anyway, we're going to see how this is going here. If you guys can't tell, we're having quite a lot of technical issues. Our first episode back, it's been about an hour trying to get things set up, so too bad for everyone. But since I'm the only one riffing here, do we might as well go check our Q&A on the Discord and answer a couple questions we have from our fans over there on the Q&A. So let's go take a look at what we got there for a moment before we bring over our next person here. So we'll go look at the Q&A. Our first question comes from Matt Plays the Drums, and he asks, are we dead? I wish we were or not. The next question is from Duke Andrew, and he asks, is the show dead? No. We never die. Jonas Reimer asks, possible for him to be on a stream? Well, you're in the green room, so obviously, yeah. Next up, we have C. Mark. Would it be possible for me to be in a stream sometime in the future? I don't see why not. And we have Suspiran asking, will there be an audio version of the podcasts? Answer for you, yes, there will very soon. And finally, Isaiah B. asks, why are we dead? We're all dead. Life is but an march to the grave. You know, if I didn't know better,
so I'm going to try and bring
our fans were mad that we kind of ditched them for 3 months.
Well, life and technology happened, so... But we're back now.
I think it's life. Life really happened, yeah.
Okay, Andrew, I'm going to bring... Now, let's...
So, do we have any questions from the people watching right now? Anybody watching have a question they'd like to ask? Go ahead and ask it.
Okay, Andrew, welcome.
You're muted, Andrew. Your audio is not coming through, man.
Seems we're having technical issues. Isn't that Microramble without the technical issues?
It's fantastic.
It's utterly special.
I like how the moment I begin screeching autistically, we have a spike in viewers. That's, you know what they really come for. They don't care about micronationalism.
Yes.
They care about shit posting.
Anyway, shall we continue while we're dealing with the technical issues?
Again, anybody want to join that has a working microphone, hit us up. Anyway, and Thomas, you should put a chat for the YouTube chat so we can get people.
It's already in the chat.
Anyway, wonderful. So
it's already in the
discussion of micronational land claims. Since you asked me, Thomas, what's your opinion? Do you think land can make or break a micronation?
No. As a general, yes, but partially that's due to my more narrow definition of a micronation, as many people know, and you are very aware. Because territory is one of the requirements under the Montevideo Conventions. Therefore, it could be argued that without meeting the 4 criteria, you're not, if that makes sense. But then we get into the discussion of the sovereign orders like we did, which is an alternate path and could be, as you point out, potentially very fruitful and successful.
Okay, well, what's your opinion on the sovereign order? As you mentioned before, a lot of people are curious about how sovereign orders work. What is your opinion of the whole sovereign order?
I like the idea.
It's a productive means for a micronation.
It's a very set of productive means for a micronation. It's potentially a highly successful way of doing it. But I think the same rules apply in terms of professionality, etc.
There we go.
It seems that one of our guests does have their mic working again, so we can start bringing some guests on right now.
Okay, let's try Jonas. Welcome, Jonas.
Yeah, okay, now
yes,
it's working.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Oh my god, it's a miracle.
My main browser
oh my god, it's alive.
Yeah. For some reason, my browser wasn't working for whatever reason, so... Anyway, so what is it?
What's your opinion on the subject we were currently discussing?
Which was sovereign orders, right?
Well, land claims and sovereign orders. So the first question I asked Charles and what we were discussing was, do you think land claims make or break a micronation?
Could you please repeat?
Do you think land claims make or break a micronation?
Make or break. What does that mean? Does that mean like...
Charles, care to explain?
Do you really believe that? And also, Andrew's ready to join. So if you want to add Andrew as well, we can have him on as at the same time. So we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Also, Stephen Luke's around now, so he's come to save the day from Dracul. Anyway, what I was really asking
let me
bring
Andrew in before we continue. Now, welcome, Andrew.
Right now. There we go. To explain to you as we go, micronational land claims making or breaking a micronation really refers to the belief that nation, geographic location, or the land that they claim can really decide if they're taken seriously or if they're able to really succeed as a micronation at all. And that's really what I think Thomas is asking here.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you claim like a moon of Jupiter, it's really a sign that you don't matter. And
yes.
if you claims need to be serious and based on facts and not silly. I mean, like there's like a million people who are claiming Beerta Will and Mary Beardland. Like I can't even count all of them. So the unclaimed land has become so, and land that some people claim has become a little bit unserious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, in my opinion, when it comes to land claims, for my micronation, all I really claim is either it's really stuff I can access easily. Like usually, like this consists of family housing, like houses that my family that I can easily visit, or places that I can easily go to that are closest to places. For example, my micronation claims three of the states in my micronation are all made up of family homes. They're homes owned by my grandparents. The only one that isn't is a empty field which I can easily access from my house via bike. So
Yes, I have I've claimed a public park that I go to regularly. So makes
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe,
So
There's a
Jonas,
lot of
can you
agreeing
please
in
stop
the
that?
panel here today.
yeah, sure. Let me put the right back. Anyway, so as I was saying, the thing about like the claims in like Bertawheel or Antarctica, such and such, is that they're generally like, for example, Bertawheel, it's in the middle of the desert. It's in the middle of the desert. It's like,
Yeah.
why? I don't think anyone would legitimately be able to get there. You would have to like connect through like say Katoram or Cario, like any airport near that area.
Yeah, I mean, one guy planted a flag there, so
Yeah. But like the people who usually
I mean,
That's
more is-
and
Now,
then
I will say
probably
the case
bleached by
of
this point.
so now we'll
And-
say the case of Beta Will, it has multiple access issues, including the fact that last I checked, it was rife with bandits and being fought over and being debated over in terms of whose sovereignty it belongs to at the moment.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
And
anarchy,
really, at
basically.
the end of the day, what's interesting is about Bertawheel at least is that it's become, unfortunately, much like Antarctica, oversaturated with claims. There becomes a point when too many people claim the same land. You know, back when I ran Falkland, we were lucky because we decided to only claim a small bit of Antarctica as opposed to the large swaths claimed by a lot of other micronations. So we were able to get a lot of recognition. But the second Falkland dissolved, there was almost a feeding frenzy. I think we were up to like 6 micronations all claiming former Falklandian land because no one took it, and it was widely recognized in the community. So it gets to a point where land becomes so oversaturated that it's impossible to create a micronation that successfully claims it. But you don't see many people claiming Liberland's territory, but wink, wink.
Yeah.
But, it's
But I
just-
think it's also the
even
discussion that
then-
people. I think it's also the discussion that when
Sorry.
people come into the community and start looking for land claims, they don't do the research. But that's a whole different
well,
discussion.
yes.
Well, most people. The thing I've
Well, yeah. Some of
noticed, a
most
lot of
people are
people
kids.
will join the community first and then create a micronation. It used to be where people have a micronation, discover a
Yeah.
microwiki, and like, oh, cool, I can dump it here. But since there's not really much cohesion, it doesn't really work. But I hate Yamos. But maybe if anyone from the GUM is listening, they could maybe pass a resolution for the GUM to take over a commission to oversee Bertawheel so they can administer no one claiming it and to basically stop people from claiming it. I don't fucking know. Maybe do something to make public awareness about, or make public awareness about people not claiming that freaking piece of land.
yeah.
Yeah, it's desert with nothing in there.
Yeah,
Except
plus you could just claim
terrorists.
your
Yes,
backyard or something like that.
God, add a couple Circle Ks and you'll have Arizona. Anyway,
Yeah. The whole point of a micronation is so that you can effectively govern it, just like
Yeah.
an actual government.
Yeah.
And if you
this
claim
is
some
good.
speck of dirt like 1,000 miles away, it's not really a government. It's just a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's kind of a big deal. There is really kind of a 5-point test you can really give to decide if your land is viable to claim or not. And it's quite simple. It's number one, is the land reasonable? For example, if you claim all of Detroit, you're probably not a reasonable claim. Number two, can the land be easily accessed? Well, not necessarily a requirement. It definitely helps because there are some areas of land that if you can't ever visit there or hope to get there, again, Bertawheel, it's probably understandable that you can't administer it. The only real exception I've seen was with Zenrax when Ashiro discovered a small island in international waters that had not been charted before. It was a small rock poking above the sea. That would be the only exception because that legitimately was an undiscovered
sea land.
bit of land. Or,
Or sea land, which was
because
forgotten.
they can actually because Sea Land can actually access to live on the platform, so they would meet the criteria because they live
True.
there. Number 3 would be,
Yeah.
can you successfully administrate the land? For example, you may claim a park near your house, and you may claim we take Sea Land, for example, and you can claim that land if, let's say, you go to that park or you go to Sea Land and you're able to like clean trash up. But can what your government says actually affect that land? For example, taking that park, for example, your government may pass a law to clear cut all the trees, but if that's a public city park, they're not going to let you clear cut all the damn trees. But if it's your, say, a property that you physically own, like a backyard or a farm, the government actually has a means of legitimately controlling the land, and their policies can be reasonably implemented in the land. Number 4 obviously would have to be how many people claim this land. Virtually,
Yeah.
Antarctica. If a number of people claim it, won't work out. And then, of course, number 5 would have to be how likely is this land to be recognized. For example, if you're going to claim the space, for example, would probably be a good example. Looking at, or if you claim an area in a strategic part of another nation, how likely are you to be recognized? Well, probably not the most important of the 5. It still counts. So, yeah, the 5-point list is really is that.
Then again, when I started in this community, I was inexperienced, obviously. I claimed the entirety of like my local area. So I whittled it down to a few residential properties that had friendly relations with me and were willing to execute laws. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's another discussion. That's another discussion to be had. Is do you have reasonable control over the land you claim? That's what we're talking about here. For example, here in the capital of Hrafnarfjall, it's privately owned land. We can enforce our policies.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, if anybody wishes to join the conversation, be sure to leave your questions here in the chat for the stream, and we'll be sure to read it on air. Or you can ask in the Q&A section of our. Or if you want to contribute, go ahead and join join the stream. You can join us by
Discord.
It will be provided to you. So, if you want to join the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to bring in the our co-host who has finally re-arrived.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back, Christina.
Hey,
I'm
Christina.
going to turn my microphone.
I hath returned.
There we go. And you guys are still able to hear me, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Christina.
Yes.
You guys still...
Yep.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure, because I turned off my mic because I was having some lagging time issues.
Okay.
That.
All right, so welcome, Christina. Everyone's just kidding. Inside joke. I'm not. I'm just an inside joke. Inside
I
joke.
have no clue what you just said, so
How's everyone's favorite
I think your mic is lagging out.
Christina?
It is.
Okay, so Charles. Shall we move on? So the second half, the second part of the title, love. We were going to discuss micronational drama. Take it away, Charles.
I know that personally. It sounds like a garbage truck there.
Take it away, Charles. He took himself away. Thomas, you told him to take it away. He took himself out of here.
We shall be right back. We are having technical issues.
Well, we gotta do it quick. We're trying to maintain our viewer base here, guys. Yes.
And
Okay.
we're back.
Yes, we
Apologies for that. We were having a brief technical issue.
are. Yes.
Hello there. Can you guys?
So, Charles. Oh, yep, we can hear you. Shall we move on to the second subject of our title?
I'm audible.
Love. Oh no.
We can hear you.
Oh no.
Yeah. Why don't?
So, shall we continue while we're waiting for Charles to fix his technical issue?
Yeah.
So,
You
Christina,
wanna add the guest
micronational
back?
drama. Oh,
Yeah, the
I will
guests
in a
haven't
moment.
been back. Not at the moment.
yeah, well, in a moment. Let's get the second subject going first. It was
Okay.
getting a little crowded.
Yes.
Am I visible now?
Yes, you are.
Good. I ended up having to switch to my phone because my computer is a sack of shit. Can't operate for more than 5 seconds.
Charles.
Oh, dear.
Charles, you're thinking sideways. You're really wide right now.
Am I thick? Oh God, I'm upside down.
Look in general about how you look right now.
Oh boy, this is.
Anyway, shall we continue?
No, we should not continue.
Okay, so Charles, the second subject of our title, love. So we were going to talk about micronational drama. Do you want to get us going?
Well, who better to talk about me than I'm going to punch Christina, by the way, for the fact that she just said "why the long face" in the chat. I'm going to beat her to death right now with a spoon. You will be beaten to death with a spoon, Christina. Anyway, let's move on and continue on our glorious conversation. Yeah, we'll talk about micronational love. Right here.
Well, I think we were talking about the inverse of love here.
Yeah, micronational drama. I'm gonna let you and Christina kick it off actually while I get myself situated here.
While he straightens his face.
Quite. And Andrew would like to get back in, by the way. So do you want to re-add Andrew to the
So,
chat?
well, in a moment, we need to get the second subject going first.
Yes.
So, micronational drama. It's been particularly rife within the last few months, and well,
Yeah.
Do you want to start, Christina?
Oh, no. This is a lot of pressure. I have no clue what to talk about, though. There's been a lot of stuff in a lot of ways. I don't know what to bring up first, honestly.
There we go. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, you're still wide Putin right now. You're still wide.
Welcome
Putin.
back, Charles.
Thank you. I'm just.
He's not. Can you?
Or am I still?
Anyway,
On my screen, he's still wide Putin.
Anyway, micronational drama. So, as you can tell the interest of our audience based on when they leave after someone says micronational drama. Anyway, let's see if we can get some more people back in the stream here, people. And also thank you to Isaiah for saying I look like White Putin. If someone wants to bring Isaiah on the stream, that'd be pretty cool. Anyway.
Yeah, Isaiah, you're joining the stream.
All right. So, micronational drama. It's a bitch, and it happens. There's quite a few dramatic incidents going on over the last little while between Christina getting into a bitch fight with pretty much the entire community. Thomas, you also getting into a fight with certain aspects of the community. Infighting in the GUM is normal, and with a lot of other interpersonal minor drama going on, it's definitely an interesting time for micronationalism. If anyone wants to lead off on some instances of the drama, someone wants to read off the micronational news, go ahead and start. Andrew seems like he's chomping at the bit to get on, so Thomas, if you want to add Andrew into the
Yeah, that's been 4 messages.
Thomas is chomping at the bit to talk about it, so let's see what he has to do.
Okay. So
All right. Can you hear me?
And now we've re-added our guests.
I can hear you.
Welcome, guests.
Welcome.
Hello.
I could talk about the my drama on MicroWiki Discord. So certain community members that I used to get into fights with almost all the time, right?
Yes.
Anyways, so this did result in my temporary ban from MicroWiki Discord. I have been unbanned, but to say about micronational drama that it's kind of dumb. Like we had the whole I'm just gonna say coast. We had the Coast Guard. That's all I'm gonna say. And we also had that like the crap fights in New Virginia and the crap fights in this is a little unknown, but the GUM Escar drama with Ryland Colgrove.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Why don't you share about that one?
Okay, so basically Ryland Colgrove. I'm gonna go to MicroWiki because I archived this constitution on there in my user page.
I'm at Ryland Colgrove's page on MicroWiki.
No, I'm going to his a sandbox page I did where I archived his Micronation's constitution. Let me find it first.
It's an odd thing to archive.
Yeah, it's an odd thing, but I had to archive it because it was incredibly funny, in my opinion. Okay.
Not to be rude to this person, they seem normal, but the fact that their awards and decoration says that they don't have any as of now tells me that they didn't need to add that section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I will read off the 6 official laws and rules. I'll only give a gist because they're kind of long.
Let's go.
Number 1, always respect the great generalissimo. Anything negative is punishable. And number 2 is going to be weird. Don't kick me for this. It's kind of bad. In all caps, LGBT is banned. And then it proceeds to say anything or anyone that has to do with the LGBT is officially and strictly taboo. I don't know why. I shouldn't be laughing at this. Number 3 just talks about television and radio state-owned ships. We're going to skip that. Number 4, this is the funny part because this is supposed to be a socialist micronation or communist, whatever. Number 4, Christianity. This is the state religion and no other religion is allowed.
It was communist this whole time?
Yeah,
Escar
was socialist. And then number 5, living in the capital. People can live in the capital if they're, well, elite. Number 6, human rights. Freedom of speech is banned, including some civil rights. Yeah, human rights are banned, mate. Let's see how that goes well.
Interpol.
Yeah.
Interpol.
It is illegal. Not the
right.
best crime.
Whoa.
That's basically what happened. It's just like...
What does this have to do with the current subject?
Drama.
drama.
Talking about drama. This is what they did.
You're
Tom.
reading off someone's poor constitution.
Well, it kind of goes,
But the drama.
goes along with the drama. Keep going. Let's see where this leads. As long as it circles back, my interest is piqued.
I'm completely willing to start drama by just DMing this guy Christianity, bro. That's pretty gay.
It might be a dead account because I tried sending him friend requests. Let me look at my pending friend requests. Yeah, it's still outgoing. It's been outgoing for a couple of days. The account might be abandoned, but I found his Discord.
Yeah.
I
used to be on it.
Does he have a government email that I could email that to?
He has a YouTube channel which is barely active though. And he
Well,
probably
let's. All right, guys. Let's
Whoa.
back here a second here. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not going to troll this kid. We're not
Yeah, we're not gonna
this guy.
troll him. That's pretty.
Why don't we get back on topic, you two? So,
Yeah.
Thank
exactly
you.
is going on with the drama? What is the drama itself? How's that developing? Get back onto that.
So, I mean, I've noticed that the drama on MicroWiki Discord, which was pretty well known, has died off.
You're
Mainly since the I guess quote unquote departure of Yaroslav and someone else
Sophia.
from the Discord. Well, Yaroslav didn't leave; he just uninstalled Discord, from what Dionysi, sorry, has told me. And it seems like drama on the server has tightened down by a lot. It's decreased, and although the server might not be as active as it was anymore, it still isn't as bad as it was when I last was there. Like, remember the whole fancy as shag? Yeah, that was whack.
Yeah,
Do not.
that was cringe.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna let Andrew speak about it now because that's all I have to say.
All right. So, as a vocal conservative in the MicroWiki community, I have encountered many things and many problems over the course of the year that I've been a Duke of a nation. Most notably, the New Virginia Discord server. A couple of like minor threats, but not realistic, just minor threats. And also being banned once from the Monmark Discord for being for trying to insert myself back into a conversation, and they were trying to cancel culture me. So, yeah, being a conservative in a house full of social dems is kind of hard.
Well, I know the feeling. I've been many a time I've been shit-faced for giving a conservative opinion when one was not warranted. So.
Cool.
Well, personally, I have been involved in some weird instances with conservatism in the community, which is specifically, again, has to do with Pavlov and all that stuff. Now, you see, the Pavlov was generally like.
Well,
Should I not speak?
This is getting interesting.
Yeah. So
let's
can I look at
be careful about ripping into certain groups of people.
Yeah.
Because there is a line, and some cans do not need reopening at the moment.
Yeah. That's fair
I know
enough.
we're talking drama, but we have to talk about it on a professional level and not turn it into a bitch fest.
Really, what I'm saying is we need to talk about it more. We don't need to talk about the drama. We need to talk about different kinds of drama that's going on in the community. This is more of an abstract discussion on drama.
This
is really MicroWiki drama alert here. I don't need to be talking about getting raw into the news. We don't need any of that here. We need more of a William F. Buckley approach where we're all acting sophisticated as we sit down and have a nice talk about apartheid while we discuss conservative politics in South Africa. Or some shit like that.
Anyways, so I know that drama within the from my understanding, drama in the Cupertino Alliance has been growing a bit. The departure of Andaria, according to MicroWiki, from the Cupertino Alliance might leave a black hole in the organization, since Andaria was like the main micronation that started the whole thing. Now, I know that some things about the I know that recent drama about I'll just say New Virginia. New Virginia's been, their Discord specifically has been involved in drama. I have witnessed it myself, including one. Okay. Well, that's all I'm going to say. So
I'm just going to butt in and ask that we probably not bring up rapidly New Virginia repeatedly.
Yeah.
A couple questions though. Since any people in the audience may not no harm in giving them a brief synopsis of what's happening in New Virginia without getting into specifics. So, what is the general overview of what's going on in New Virginia right about now, right about these times?
Well, recent events and recent events have led to just
people
Some notable members of New Virginia have left. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I will have to say, though, I mean, I don't see necessarily a problem with bringing up things that are newsworthy, even if they're not necessarily the most comfortable stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But I guess
Well,
it's up to Thomas because he's kind of got the stream his thumb now, so it's his governance, I suppose. So.
what about my nation's recent partition between a crown dependency
Okay,
of
so
Australasia?
let's not talk about specific incidences. We need to be
All right.
more abstract in respect of the current causes of drama. The old
Got it.
cause of drama has been rife, which is the ideological split.
Yeah, definitely.
This is common and has been occurring for how long now, Charles? In different forms?
Of mankind, drama is to micronationalism what flies are to shit. It's an inseparable entity that coexists.
Big brain.
Well, I was referring particularly to drama based on ideological split.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's
definitely.
not just a micronational thing. That you've just described every single war in human history.
Yeah. Social Dems hate conservatives. Conservatives hate social Dems. It's kind of a thing.
I wouldn't necessarily say they hate each other. I would more say that it's a
Good point.
Mutual disagreement.
ideological malcontent, which take a more personal form. And really, this personal manifested form tends to come about and bring the death of a movement. Really, when when people are not necessarily ready for something to happen. For example, if their ideologies differ in such a way where they're not ready for certain change to come about. Another opposing ideology bringing about said change has definitely led to many a group breaking into personal attacks, not separating politics from person.
I'm going to
Yeah.
have to be right back for a bit. I have things to attend to. But I'm still in the stream. It's going to be quick.
Okay.
So why don't we bring on a couple other guests since we got Bruce Cooper from Dracul in the chat here, and we also have an old returning guest, good old Serator.
Surtur.
Serator.
Or Surtur. I'll have to decide.
And I think it'll definitely be something interesting. So let's see.
Okay.
And remember,
I would say as we're halfway through, let's change out our guests.
I don't want to necessarily say we're halfway through, but I would agree with it.
I would like to thank Jonas and Andrew for attending, as we can only have so many guests.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I'm pleased to serve you.
That sounded overtly sexual, but all right.
I didn't mean it that way.
I'm pleased. Thank you. I love this.
Charles.
Damn it, Charles.
This is why I don't have friends.
Okay, so now hopefully we can get the new guests on.
Give me a moment.
Okay.
I think now's a good time for a little Q&A break here. Let's go if you guys want to hop over to the Q&A section.
Yes, any questions? Also, how do you chat?
Okay, so let's take a
by
brief
the vocalization of words.
2-minute break where we get the new guests on and we'll people questions.
Yeah, we'll switch to a little bit of a break here on the screen, but we'll be back in just a couple minutes. So don't worry about your pretty little eyes. We will be back soon.
Bye.
And we're back.
Okay.
So, we were on the subject of
Well-
drama, which I think maybe wise to come off of.
Okay. This will be good. We're back. So, anyway, let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Yep. So before we bring in our new guests, shall we finally wrap up
Can you guys
the
hear
last
me?
subject?
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yep.
Okay, let's get the show back on the road.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wonderful. Okay, then. It's quite interesting looking at the lag
So-
between these two.
First things first.
Stream. It's interesting.
So first things first, on behalf of Microramble and on behalf of Charles, I'd like to apologise for that prior comment. It was
I can apologize
Off
for
colour.
myself here, Thomas. I just wanted to say
Shall we
sorry
say.
for if I offended anybody with my comment, and that was
okay.
not my intention. It was a joke, and it was a bad joke. I'm sorry if I offended you. That was my intention. I'm aware that in this community there are certain individuals that have happened in the past that have caused problems to come up when certain jokes are made, and so for that I am sorry. So, anyway, let's get back onto the show here.
excellent. So let's bring our guests on. Welcome, Bruce.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Welcome to Microramble.
Thank you.
So, and return guest. Welcome back, Andrew.
Hey, Glad to be back.
Wonderful. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Quite good to have you back here. I'm having a little bit of an error.
Do you want to go into the third subject, Charles?
LARPing? Sure.
What's going on?
Well, LARPing in the micronational community, definitely not the best thing around these days. LARPing in the micronational community has very much become almost a has become a severe issue in micronationalism.
Indeed.
It has become something that is very much uncouth in a micronational environment. Simply put, because LARPing and micronationalism has really become something that is very much taken away from the seriousness of the community's name. However, I will say that in some instances, simulationist micronationalism should not be mistaken for micronational LARPing. There is a very noticeable and distinct difference between the two. This being that while simulationism, for example, can be used in instances such as Ruritania or I don't know, Molossia, even to an extent. LARPing is more or less fantasy, and more or less taking it on the grounds of geofiction or as a game, which micronationalism is a bit different than that. So it's very much not a game worth playing, I suppose, would be the way to put it.
Yeah, because it's boring to write papers.
Quite. Quite indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that all we're gonna say?
Oh. I'll ask Christina if you want to make some commentary on the subject.
Sorry, which one? I had to deal with something. That's why my camera was off. On which subject? Sorry.
LARPing and micronationalism, and the differential between LARPing and simulationism.
So there's been a lot of LARPing throughout the community, and it's mainly gone through with the ways of simulationism and things like that, which has been widely discouraged, though. Although in many instances they will still state that they are micronationalists throughout it, even if it is using falsified numbers or things such as that. For example, at one point I was reached out to by a person who had their own sort of wiki on the fandom, they had a wikia, and they sent it to me, and their numbers said things in the millions, and it was obviously false. And whenever I contacted them about it, their response was, "Oh, it's just for fun," or something like that. And things like that are very much still prevalent, although luckily they've been somewhat decreased.
Yeah. There certainly needs to be some sort of petri dish in order to test the waters, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
If there would be like a variant of MicroWiki for simulationism, that would be certainly an interesting way to get people's feet wet before they, dive into the real thing.
I'm going to make a joke here. That's already the wikia.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Bruce, do you have any thoughts on this subject?
And by the way, just to comment, if you're wondering where a good place for simulation
And we have
or
Charles
micronationalism would be, that's just Micros. That essentially just sums up the fiction of Micros in a nutshell.
Oh, Charles, the best place for them is the wikia.
I have found it best to not discuss the wikia under any circumstances. It's for the best of society.
Now that's where the dumpster belongs. It should not be on the poor quality articles. It should be that. The wiki, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
This stupid thing.
and okay, we just lost people.
It seems we did. Hello, Charles. Where did Andrew go? There's Andrew.
My iPad can't really handle the coolness of y'all.
So apologies.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Bruce, and welcome back, Andrew, and welcome back, Charles.
Yes.
So I
yes.
think we may need to look at wrapping up here due to the technical issues that are currently being experienced.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have been going for about an hour and a half now.
Yes.
But Bruce, did you have some commentary on the current subject?
It cut out a bit. We were talking. Oh, sorry. You guys were talking about fake simulations. Yeah.
Talking about LARPing simulationism is what we were
Yeah.
talking about.
I think
Yes.
it makes a bad look for the micronational community. Like, it makes us look like a game because some people will look at it and say, oh, yeah, well, this guy over here, he's making a simulation, so the whole micronational community must be a game, or it must just be people pretending to have their own country.
Definitely. And there's a lot of misconceptions regarding micronationalism in that regard. Like, oh, you just say you have a country? That's pretty cool. I want to do that too. And it's much more serious than that.
And all that stems back to our to Thomas and I's old nemesis, children. That tends to be the what it stems back to. The younger they are, the more unprofessional it tends to be. With some exceptions, there are some glaring exceptions, of course, but in general,
Like me.
it does tend to be where they are. The harder it is to understand why the hell their nation is best. And I told you before, my advice is and will always be for young children wanting to jump into micronationalism. Just don't. Either make a playground nation and stay out of the community, or join an existing micronation and learn what you're doing before you make your own. You'll be better off for it. You'll be helping other small micronations, and hell, you might even make some friends along the way.
Yeah. Hey, I don't mean to advertise,
Yeah,
but join
exactly.
my Discord. It's pretty base.
Mentor under other more experienced persons. No advertisements, please.
I'm joking. It's a joke.
Not the advertise,
Well,
but make sure to
speaking
hit
of
that like button, hit that
Okay.
subscribe.
Speaking of advertising communities that no one should be joining, Thomas, I feel like that's probably a good enough segue for you for what you got to say before we call it quits.
Yeah, guys.
So, anyway,
Make sure to hit that like button, hit that post notification bell, and hit the subscribe button down below.
But not on this channel, because this is Hrafnarfjallian's channel, not our channel. Don't give Hrafnarfjallian any credit.
No,
do it on this one and Microrambles.
Look up Microramble in your top.
Microramble
Look it up
is
in
linked in the
bar up
description.
there. Then make sure to slam that subscribe button, hit
It's
like
actually
on
linked
every
in the
single one of the
description.
videos, and hit the post notification bell for future updates about the channel. Then also make sure to leave a comment down below of all the Microramble ones of what you want next, so that we can have ideas. We're running out of them.
Breaks after running a red light. That's what you do.
We're losing funding. Please help.
We're losing funding. The governments that were funding us cut their funding. We need more.
I want to be honest with you. All things considering, looking at our view count, I think we've actually not lost funding because we've been gone since September. Our first episode back has achieved an average of like 9 views the whole time. So, given that we'll probably top 100 once we finish up, I guarantee that it'll probably not be the worst stream ever. It'll probably do pretty good.
No, true. So, anyway, shall we wrap up, guys?
I thought that's what I was doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Microramble.
And also,
I'm Thomas Bainbridge.
and before we go, by the way, one last
I'm
notification.
me.
This is probably the most disorganized Microramble we've had. Once we get back, this is a bit of a spur of the moment to get the ball rolling. Our next episode will be later this week, or beginning of next week, and it will be about more professional topics. And we'll also try to get some interviews with prominent micronationalists. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled professionalism after this. This was a little bit of a clutterfunk of an episode, just getting everything back going again. So I will let you know that once we do get back onto back into action, things will be a lot better. So anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night out.